Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be doing an eating show. I got one of my favorite meals, pigs in the blanket, and a boatload of fries. And I've always wanted to do this since I stumbled across the queen of mukbangs herself, Trisha Paytas. So let's start. Mm, I can't believe I'm doing a mukbang because there was a time in my life when I wouldn't eat in front of people because I'm big and there are just things that are not socially acceptable when you are a bigger person. Got my water not sponsored, obviously. But because when I was in school, we used to have girls and boys that would bring like book bags full of nothing but snacks. And everybody thought it was cute and funny, but like when I tried it, I would get the mean looks. Like, really, just by your family, blah, 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 blah. So, that's to say that I'm surprised I am doing this. I don't got the best equipment, so I'm holding this up because I know some people like to see the food. Okay, so what's going on in my life right now? I'm currently on the hunt for a job because I got student loans to pay, and that needs to happen ASAP. It's just so amazing to me that we live in one of the richest places in the world, but as soon as you step out of college, you're already in debt unless you have a wealthy family. Because in order to complete college, you have to go through financial aid, and the interest rates are ridiculous. So I'm on the job hunt. So far, I have filled out 3 applications. I'm gonna try to fill something out for every place in town. I was hoping to get to I was hoping to get to work at Barnes and Noble. I don't know how that's gonna look, but for one, I love books, and I think that it will be so amazing to be able to like basically do what I do on YouTube and get paid for it, to be able to recommend someone who's coming in, maybe a first time reader or getting back into reading after a long stint, and being able to recommend them books I love or books that I think you might love based on books they read in the past, or being able to tell everybody the new releases, because ever since I started BookTube, I have just been on the ball with new releases. Before, I wouldn't even know, like a year, well, 2 years ago, I was reading the year before's books. Like in 2015, I was reading 2014, 2013 releases. And even though I was going to the library and browsing, for some reason I never came across any new releases. And I had no way of knowing where to go to find them. So Goodreads has been a godsend. because now I can see books that come out months in advance. I'm so hot. If I look sweaty, forgive me, because I just finished cooking my brother their dinner. They had pork chops and um this cheese rice from Zatarain's. It is so amazing. And I cooked them biscuits. And I had made mine before there to leave it in the oven. Because usually I eat after I make sure I cook after I make sure they have all their stuff that they need. Get some more. I love these fries so much. They are Harris Teeter brand. And they come pre-seasoned, which usually I don't find that a lot with like store brand fries. They usually don't have a good season. But these are so good. Mm, mm. Man, it's so good. Let me see. Oh yeah, I'm thinking about actually going back to school. Even though I just talked about my debt, I'm thinking about going back to school for makeup because I have a passion that is equal to my passion for books, for makeup, and I'm always getting stopped on the street. I'm always getting stopped in the church, and people are always telling me how beautiful my makeup is. And asking me what products I use and do I do it professionally. I'm always getting stopped random places and asking, do I do makeup professionally? And my mom has told me that you should have a job that you love so that it's not really a job. It's just something fun you're getting paid to do. So I'm thinking about it. It's just my insecurities start to boom. My insecurities start to boom because I'm always worried if I can actually do it on somebody else's face or not. Because I know how to do my makeup. I know that I don't really have a crease. I know how to make a crease. You know, I know how to blend my foundation, which is very basic. I know how to do eyes. But it's a whole bunch of things that I don't know how to do because I don't do myself. Like, I don't know how to contour. I know how to highlight. I don't know how to contour because I don't contour. Because I always think it's ridiculous. Like, no shade to anybody else. Because, like I said before, that's the beauty of makeup. It's about how it makes you feel and wearing and doing what you want to do. But I'm fat. I'm fat. It's something that it's taken me years to, but I embrace wholeheartedly. I'm fat. So why would I contour my cheeks and try to make them look like they're super chiseled when I'm sitting up here with Rose for days? That don't make no sense. My face looks like I'm 120 pounds, but my body like three something. That makes no sense. And I'm saying three something not to be vague, I'm just saying 3 something because I stopped getting on the scale a long time ago. I realized I like food. I want to eat. I'm gonna go when the good Lord pulls my number. And why am I gonna sit here and get on the scale all the time and stress about weight when I realized I was stressing because I was so concerned with what society was gonna think. And society don't pay my bills. They don't get my hair done. They don't do my nails. Okay. They don't pay my health insurance. Why am I so concerned with what society thinks? So I haven't been on the scale in years. These are so good. This is my go-to meal. Let me see if I can show you everything. Oh yeah, that was a way better. I have scarfed these down. I love them so much. Let me see what kind. Okay. Shadowhunters went off yesterday. Had the season finale. I did a review that should go up before or after this. I'll have it linked. And it kind of did leave us on a little cliffhanger. So I'm like, I wish I could rewind to January. Fast forward to January. Because Simon left Maya and went back. I guess spoiler alert for Shadowhunters if you haven't seen it yet. Simon left Maya and went back to the City Queen. So now I'm thinking, what kind of deal did he make in order to get them out of there? Because the City Queen was too nice, okay, about letting them go. So I should have known sooner that something was up. I just didn't think Simon had sacrificed himself for Maya and Luke. I love Simon so much. He is the sweetest person in the whole entire Shadowhunters show. He is so sweet, and it makes me so mad that he took like Clary back as a best friend after she hurt him because he's so selfless and she's so selfish, and all she's gonna do is cause him harm in the end. And I just want to be screaming at the TV screen, like, please, Simon, like, let her go. Like, you have this allegiance to her because you know her since you were 6 years old and probably been in love six years old. But at some point in time, we have to learn when people are toxic and we have to let them go. One more time. Okay. We have to. And Clary is toxic. Nobody matters to Clary but Jason. We've already seen that from the choice she makes at the end of the episode. And I want to go back to the Silly Queen. This is an unpopular opinion. I love Sarah Hyland. But the little girl that plays the Silly Queen, phenomenal. You would think that she herself was British. She might be. I don't know. I didn't look into who she was. But she did such a great job with the accent. And Sarah Hyland comes, and she's the adult Silly Queen. and her British accent was atrocious. And I sat there and watched review after review of people talking about how good she did as the City Queen, which she did, but nobody once talked about her accent. And it was terrible. I felt like she was trying to sound like what Americans think a British person sounds like. And it was made all the more terrible knowing that her boyfriend is Dom Sherwood and he's British. Like, she could have got some help from him. And I know why people didn't say anything. Because everybody loves Sarah Hyland. She's a sweetheart. She's like one of the nicest people. Or at least that's how she portrays herself to the general public. So I can see that. But I feel like when you're making a review, your like or love of the actor should not get in the way of telling the truth. But it surprised me when nobody spoke on her accent. Especially because then it made me kind of fearful to say anything because I didn't want to be the bad guy. You know, because people love Sarah Hyland. Probably because they have that sense of growing up with her because she's been on Modern Family for like, what, 10 years almost? And you see her go from like a teen, if I'm not mistaken, to like a grown woman. I don't know. I could be talking the most ridiculous crap right now because I don't really watch Modern Family. To be honest, I barely watch TV at all. Shadowhunters, Hit the Floor, um, Shadowhunters and Hit the Floor was like the only things I was consistently watching. And Hit the Floor will be back next year. I'm so excited, but at the same time, I'm nervous because it's coming to BET, and I don't tend to watch black television or black shows because the black community, the African American community, is extremely homophobic, and because of that, a lot of times LGBT stories don't get told from our community, or if they get told, they like do the bare minimum. It's just someone who's gay, and he may come out and that's it. And then you never hear about his character at all, or the fact that he's gay at or if he is gay, he's like Jamal on Empire. Like, you barely see him with anybody. And I think they did that because the African American community wasn't happy because I think they had a bunch of test subjects. Like when it first came out, they had some test subjects, which I think they said was a group of black people, men and women, and they played Jamal and uh, his, gosh, I can't think of it. I think his name is Michael De La Fuentes or something. His character relationship, the very first man Jamal was with on Empire, and they said that the crowd had a negative reaction, and it wasn't long after that they broke up. That's when they introduced that child storyline, and then he said he couldn't deal with Jamal having a kid, so he left. And it's really disappointing that I have to say I don't watch black TV, but I don't because, to be honest, I'm tired of heterosexual relationships on TV. We've been seeing this like 50, 60 years in Hollywood. I want to see more LGBTQIA plus relationships. I want to see lesbian relationships, transgender relationships. I want to find one TV show that's running on a major network that has a pansexual main character who the actor or actress playing the character is also pansexual. Like Sense8, but Sense8 was on Netflix. It wasn't like a TV show that you could avoid by just not paying for Netflix. I want it in the face of the American public. The only way that we can normalize and start pushing toward total acceptance and not tolerating, just tolerating, because you should never make that the goal, is by getting it out there and letting people see that these people, this community, is the same as you. They get up in the morning, they might have to go to the bathroom, they take a shower, they get some breakfast, they put their pants on one leg at a time. And I think not showing all types of families and all types of people and all types of sexualities is doing a disservice, you know, to the world, because it's not going to go away just because you don't want to acknowledge the LGBT community. They're not going away. It makes me so happy every time I see somebody in the community being able to live their life as their true authentic selves. Because I want the world to get way better. Because one day I want to bring kids into this world, and I don't want to bring kids into a world of such great ignorance. It's ignorance like that that was the reason that we've had all of this Charlottesville, all of these tragic situations happening around the country, because ignorance. And I hope that one day we can get rid of it before my kids and my kids' kids come into the world. Because I don't want them to have to see crap like this. I want it to be just a history book page and not something that they're turning on the news and seeing. I'm so full. This is what's left. I pretty much demolished it. I'm going to get me some more water. So, that is going to be it for today. Thank you for hanging out with me while I babbled. It may not have made sense, but this is something that I've always wanted to do since I saw Trisha Paytas do her very first Mukbang, if I'm pronouncing that right. So if you like this video and want to see more mukbangs from me, please give it a thumbs up. And I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year. So please hit that subscribe button and leave a check mark. And as always, until we meet again,